Hi, I'm Angie. Today I'm going to show you a really great recipe for a dessert that's called Peach Cobbler. And it's not too difficult to make, but there are a few steps involved, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is start with a 28-ounce can of sliced or peach halves, and I'm just going to slice these ones up. So you just want to drain that because you want to reserve the juice. And you want 1 cup of juice. Now I'm going to slice up the peaches and put them in a buttered casserole dish. Just doing each half into thirds. Of course, if you buy canned sliced peaches, then you just dump in the slices in your casserole dish. Just like that. And now we'll make the syrup. Okay, so to make the syrup, in a saucepan I'm going to combine my 1 cup of drained syrup from the peaches. And I'm going to add a ½ cup of packed brown sugar. And a tablespoon of cornstarch. And just about 1/8 teaspoon of salt, or a pinch of salt. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of mace. And mace comes from the nutmeg. I think it's the little top of the nutmeg. And it's really unique and really important for this recipe. The flavor is crucial to it. So you can go to the bulk store and just buy a little bit of it because it can be kind of expensive. So I just buy a little packet of it and it'll last a year. So just mix those up. And now we're going to cook that over medium heat until it becomes thick and clear. It'll take about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been a couple minutes and it's starting to boil now, and you can see it's getting kind of thicker and clear. I'm using a whisk because my cornstarch is a little bit lumpy, and this should help take care of that. So just continue boiling it on medium heat just for a minute or two until it's nice and thick. Okay, that looks good. It's getting nice and thick. Now I'm just going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm just using bottled lemon juice. That's good enough for this. And 1½ tablespoons of butter. And that's it for the sauce. So just stir that in, and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so now you have your peaches in your buttered casserole dish, and we have our nice thick syrup, and we're just going to pour that right over top of the peaches. It smells really good. And now what we're going to do is make the cobbles for the top, and then we'll bake it in the oven. Okay, now we're going to make the cobbles that go on the peach cobbler. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and while that's heating we'll finish up the recipe. In a bowl I've got 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 2 tablespoons of sugar and just 1½ teaspoons of baking powder and just a ½ teaspoon of salt. Mix that up, and we're just going to cut in a 1/4 cup of butter, and I've just kind of cut it into little pieces to get it started. I'm using a pastry blender, which is really helpful when you're making pastry or cutting in anything to make a crumble or biscuits or something like that. They're not very expensive and really get the job done quickly. So you just want to cut in that butter until it resembles like a coarse meal. It's not creaming it, it's just breaking it into little pieces into the flour. Okay, now I'm going to stir in a ½ cup of milk, just using a fork. And just really stir this quickly. It's almost like making biscuits. Just until it's all moist. It makes kind of a soft dough. Just like that. And that's it. You don't want to overmix it. Now we'll put it on the top of the peaches. Okay, now we're going to put the cobbles on top of the peaches. And I've learned over the years the easiest way to do that is with 2 teaspoons. So I just take a small teaspoon of the dough and push it off with the other teaspoon right on top of the batter. Right on top of the peaches. And if you make them any bigger than this, they get cooked only partially through, and they're sort of raw on the bottom. So this way you know that they'll be nice and cooked. Just keep going. There's no set number of how many it makes, just plop them on until you've covered the surface of your peaches. Okay, I'll just let you see those cobbles close up. And now just before we put them in our 400-degree oven, I'm just going to dot some butter. It's about a tablespoon or so, just on top of the cobbles. Just some little pieces. That one's kind of too big, isn't it? There we go. And then I've got some extra brown sugar that I'm just going to sprinkle generously over the top. Okay, and we're going to pop this in the oven and bake it for about 25 to 35 minutes, or until they're nice and golden brown and cooked. It's been about 28 minutes and I've taken the cobbler out of the oven. It smells so amazing. Let it cool for a bit, and you can serve it warm, especially nice with some nice vanilla ice cream. This is my husband's favorite dessert, so I know he'll be happy when he gets home tonight. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your peach cobbler.